Good morning, YouTube, and it's an exhilarating day to be waking up in today. We had a nice rain last night, and it's 52 degrees this morning, but it's going to get up to 75 before the day is over. It's going to be sunny all day. All the flowers and the trees will love that. Just the amount of rain, just the right amount of rain last night. Just a nice shower that helps everything out. And so I'm just so exhilarated this morning, and I'm so glad to be waking up in the omnipotence of God again today. I'm so glad to be waking up with a sense of awareness, with a sense of a rising consciousness, with a sense of ascension and transcendence above the mundane and the mortal, a sense of immortality. I woke up with a greater sense of immortality. Every day I get a greater sense of immortality and a greater sense of a power of healing and a greater sense to reach out into this world and cause this world to become a more loving place, a more cooperative place. I get a greater sense of the ability to be able to lead and help people to raise their consciousness and raise their awareness and raise their powers of healing and their powers to be able to heal themselves, get healed of their diseases, whatever disease you may have, whether it's heart disease, cancer, diabetes, whatever it may be. This morning, you can raise your awareness to the point where you can receive the healing. That healing power is with you. Oh yes, every atom and cell of our body is all mostly space, and guess what? That's all filled with the healing power of God. That's all filled with that omnipotence of God. Acts 17:28, it says, in him we live and move and have our being. And we are always encouraged and taught to be imbued with the realization of what all omnipotence means, to be imbued with the realization of what our source is and what infinite mind means and how infinite mind is. To be totally imbued, that means let your consciousness be saturated with the ideas of how powerful God is and how all present he is and how close he is, closer than your breath, closer than your consciousness. That healing power is closer than your breath. The healing power is closer than your consciousness. The healing power is closer than your eyes, your ears, your heart, everything. The healing power is that close to you right now, and the only thing it takes is your awareness. Oh yes, we can't be double-minded about it, though. We have to say, I will be healed, and I will be aware of healing power, and I will doubt not. According to your faith, then be it unto you, which means that you become aware of the power of faith, and you become aware. You've got to become aware of it. You can't just guess it. Well, I believe you can't just read a statement like that or hear a statement like that and say, well, that's a good sounding statement. But you have to understand fully what it means to be persuaded. To be fully persuaded that we cannot be separated from the love of God. That's Romans 8:38-39. We cannot be separated, and in him we live and have our movement and move and have our being. We cannot be separated from our source. We cannot be separated from infinite mind. We cannot be separated from the infinite healing power, and it's everywhere, all around us and all in us, and all we have to do is lift our consciousness to it. But what will that do? Being imbued with that power, being imbued with that realization. Why are we encouraged to be imbued with the realization of what all that means? Because we have fears and we have doubts and we have superstitions and we have collective consciousness to deal with. But when we become imbued fully and saturated fully with the realization of how powerful our source is and how close our source is and how close the divine mind of God, the infinite mind, the supreme being, the infinite substance of the entire universe, the infinite intelligence that fills this entire universe. When we become aware of how powerful that is, then that does away with all fear, and that leaves when we get rid of that fear, then that leaves place within our consciousness for love and for joy and for peace, and those things bring healing, and those things bring persuasion, and those things bring faith. And so we have to get rid of the things that detract from it. It's more in getting rid of the things that detract from it than it is anything else. We have to get rid of those things that are subtracting from our awareness. We have to say, what is subtracting from our awareness? And I will throw that aside now. What is subtracting from all of these things that I could have and enjoy? And what is subtracting from me raising my consciousness? What is holding me back? What is pulling me down? And get rid of those things, and then we'll automatically automatically rise to understand and realize what all is really here with us now. And so there's a great spectrum of understanding. It goes with the omnipotent power of God and the omnipresence of God. It provides a great spectrum of understanding, because as we stop and we realize all the implications of it. There's a vast spectrum of implications, and we realize the importance of to us, and the importance to our life, and the importance to our health. There's a vast spectrum of what it'll do for our health, and how important it is to our understanding, and how important it is to our awareness, and get rid of fear, and get rid of anxieties, and then all the intensity of the infinite mind, the intensity of the presence, the amount of it, and all becoming aware of that spectrum. There's a vast spectrum of how intense and how close God is to us, and how close infinite mind, our source, is, and how inseparable we are from it. There's a vast spectrum of inseparability, of understanding of how inseparable we are from source and from our infinite mind, and all of these things, and what what it indicates to us. All of those eyes, there's five, I believe I named 5 eyes there. What it indicates. What does it indicate as far as what I can do, and what I can be, and what can I have? If I've got an infinite source, which contains all power and all strength and all understanding and all healing power and all ability to do everything and all creative energies and all the energies needed to perform anything, any kind of task. Well, what does that indicate? What does that indicate to me? And what is the significance of that? There's a vast spectrum of understanding we can analyze in that, and just draw it out. Just put down on your paper a vast spectrum, and just start asking yourself, what does all that mean? And that will begin to lift you up in awareness, and that will begin to raise your consciousness, and then you'll be able to gain more and more strength, and more energy, and more love and joy. You got to displace all your fears and superstitions with more awareness of omnipotence and omnipresence. And the more you become aware of the omnipotence and omnipresence of God, the more that'll automatically displace all your fears and anxieties, and you'll have no more fear of death. You'll have no more fear of sickness, have no more fear of illness, no more fear of pain, and no more fear of any kind of a difficulty or sorrow or anything. It'll just completely displace that, because it's so much more powerful. It's hundreds of millions of times more powerful than any fear or any sickness or any illness already within you. You've got a power that's much more, that's 100 million times more powerful than any sickness can ever be, than any illness can ever be, than any sorrow or anything can ever be, than any accident or problem or difficulty in your life could ever be. It's 100 million times more powerful already than any of those things. And so it overcomes them and displaces them and just moves them on out, and you become radiant with life and with authority, and with power, and with strength, and in and out of your innermost being flows rivers of immortality, rivers of power, rivers of strength, rivers of health, rivers of healing power. You're able to heal people. You're able to raise people up. You're able to raise their awareness. You're able to give them strength. You're able to give them energy. You're able to change this world. You're able to do the things you want to do. You're able to have abundance, and you're able to manifest what you want, all of your desires, because what's in you is 100 million times more powerful than anything that would detract from you receiving that abundance and that manifestation. You want to receive. People always talk about wanting to manifest, but they got to realize that we already have within us a power and a strength and an energy already ready to manifest out of us. It's already ready to manifest from our innermost being outward, things which are more powerful and strong than anything that we're seeking right now to manifest in our life. And so we have to get into the understanding of those spectrums. And why is it necessary to begin to understand these things? Because It'll overcome your inadequacy. It'll overcome your insecurities. It'll overcome all of your sense of being not important enough, not being good enough, not being worthy enough. And it'll clear out, as Tanya Love always says, clear out the aura. It'll clear your aura. You'll get an aura. You can all of this strength is within you. It's powerful enough to clear out everything which is affecting your aura and everything that is drawing it is negative in that aura, and everything that is drawing the wrong kinds of things to you, attracting the wrong kinds of things. All that'll be cleared out once you begin to raise your awareness. Once you begin to get yourself up above, transcend, where you can transcend all these things, and we can see a higher plane where you can get so far above all these things that you'll think you're in another galaxy, just looking down on a small speck called Earth, and all those all those problems that you thought you had, and all those limitations that you thought you had, they're down there, and you're up here. And you're looking down upon them, and you're saying, oh, how small all those difficulties were, how small all those limitations were, how small all that was, how small my fears and superstitions were, and how big and great and wonderful is this consciousness which I have now, how wonderful is this healing power which I have now. And that's what you can get by getting it all cleared out. And, getting it, you need to be able to do that and learn to do that and learn to enjoy living in a higher state of consciousness. This is a marvelous day today, too, to begin to do that, to begin to raise that consciousness. And before the day is over, I plan on raising my consciousness more. I plan on every day being a day to raise my consciousness just a little bit more. To realize, to keep on working on the spectrums of consciousness and realizing what all they mean, and working on the spectrums of truth. Every truth that we know of, the truth that God is love, that is a vast spectrum. What does it mean? Ask yourself those 5 eyes about that. What is the importance that God is love? And being infinite, the fact that he's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, and all that too, and being love, put all that together. What is the importance? What is the intensity? How intense is his love? How strong is his love? How powerful is his love? How vast is his love? How oceanic is his love? How much like a Niagara that'll pour in on you is his love? And ask yourself, what is the significance in your life, and what is the implication to you, and what is the what's the importance, the intensity, and the significance, and all those 5 eyes, which I mentioned before. Think about all those in connection with the love of God, and then think about the peace and the joy of God, the peace that passes under all understanding, the joy unspeakable and full of glory, and the joy unspeakable and full of glory, and the peace that passes all understanding, and all these things, and think about the vast spectrum which they will produce in your life, and what all that they mean, and what is the significance, what is the importance, what do they indicate, what will they indicate to you about how you should understand life, and what will they do for you when you understand them, and what will they do when you express them, and what will they do when you receive them, and what will they do when they flow from you, and what will they do when they feel your life, what will they do when they feel your heart, what will they do when they feel your body, what will they do when they feel your mind, what will they do when they feel your consciousness, what will the infinite love of God do when your consciousness is totally imbued with his love and nothing else. When all you have in your mind is the love of God, totally imbued of the power, and totally imbued and saturated with the fact that the love of God is more powerful than any other substance on the face of the earth or the universe. That it'll do more for you when you realize it than anything else you could ever achieve or anything else you could ever understand. That the love of God, the vast love of our infinite source, infinite mind, divine mind, is so powerful that it can change anything. It is so powerful that it can heal anything. There's so much power in that infinite mind to do anything and be anything, have anything, and change anything. And what is that, the significance of that to us? What is the importance of that to us? What does that indicate to us? What is the intensity of that to us? And analyze all those vast spectrums of all those things, and think about what it all means, and bring it all together, put it all together into a vast, just to put it on like brush strokes until you get the full painting and get the full picture of what all that means to you. Just begin to paint them things on. Oh yes, omnipotence, love, power, strength, healing power, and all that until you get a vast painting that you can see a marvelous thing and begin to raise your consciousness more and more every day. It's marvelous. It's